Hi, we're Kev and Emma. 18 months ago we started a new adventure and bought a 57-foot narrowboat called Ripple. Why not join us and watch our highs and lows, the renovations and changes we've made, the clever storage that's been created, and find out what it's really like living and working full-time aboard a narrowboat with 2 dogs while exploring the waterways of our beautiful country.
Hi, welcome to this week's vlog. Last time you saw us sat on the sofa like this was our very first video, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We've not done anything from inside the boat, so to speak, since our very first one. So what's this one about, Em?
So those of you that watch us regularly will know that we've come into North Kilworth Marina. So we've been in the marina for 3 weeks. With the aim of painting the boat, which we're getting along with, and you will see the results of either next week or the week after. So what we thought we would do is talk to you about our costs, because over the last year, from August 23 to August 24, I have been keeping a record of everything we spent money on boat wise.
Yeah.
So all of the key things that you need to pay to live on a boat for 1 year, because we wanted to see how much a year of continual cruising would cost, and we thought it might be useful to share that information with you, because some people are considering buying a boat and coming and living the lifestyle. Some people already own a boat and might want to look at comparing costs and you know, how that works. And some people it's just quite interesting to see the comparison between living on land and living on a boat. Lots of people say it's much cheaper, and lots of people say, oh, it's not as cheap as you think it is. So at the end of this video, you can make up your own mind.
Yeah, it might be cheaper to live in a house. If it is, then we're selling the boat and moving back to land.
Yeah, we're off.
So what we probably will say right at the very start is that every boat is different. Boats have different engines. They have bigger engines, smaller engines. Some have solar, some don't have solar.
Some use generators.
Some use jennies in the winter. There's all sorts of variables, but what we're going to kind of show you now is purely based on what we have and what we've had for the last 12 months. And I think a big factor is that we do continually cruise, where if you don't continually cruise, your cost might be completely different from ours, because we might use treble the amount of diesel you might use. So you've got to understand this isn't true. So if you don't have a boat and you're going, how much does it cost to live? This is just for us. If you choose a different way of living, you need to kind of work that out and think about those costs yourself, really. But this is just for us, the 2 of us, the 2 dogs, occasional visits from family and friends, and
also sharing our cruising patterns. So how often do we cruise? How long do we cruise for? Some people won't cruise any longer than a couple of hours a day. We cruise much longer than that. So I think that all of those things are really important to take into account when you're looking at the figures at the end of the vlog. So what we'll do is we'll give you the context for all of that, and then we'll give you the figures, our annual costs, and you can see how much our lifestyle costs us.
We pay an annual licence fee to the CRT, the Canal and River Trust. Every boat has to have a licence in order to be on the waterways. The CRT, as part of this licence, the CRT manage the waterways that we cruise. They look after the vegetation, the towpaths. They will also fix locks that have broken. As well as this, the licence also includes free mooring, basically. So when you moor up alongside the canal, you don't pay any costs. Obviously, you have to look. There are some restrictions. So some moorings 2 days, 7 days, but generally you get free mooring along the canal side, apart from specific areas like London. So the licence fee also covers access to water. So there are water taps, fresh water along the way, and also getting rid of wastewater. So our Elsan, access to an Elsan where we empty our cassettes, our toilet cassettes, and rubbish disposal. So basically, for us, the way that we look at it, the license covers our rent, as in our mooring costs, because there aren't any, and council tax, because that gives us our services like water, rubbish, and access to the Elsan as well.
So licenses, we currently until December, I think our one runs out, doesn't it? Expires.
Well, last year and this year we had a gold license.
Yeah, we had a gold license.
We knew that we were going to spend some time on the Thames,
yeah.
And particularly the Thames you have to buy a separate license for, and we worked out that actually it would be cheaper for us to buy the gold license for this year than buy separate licenses for when we travelled on the Thames.
This coming year we won't be buying a gold one though, will we? We just get, I think they call it a standard license or a canal and rivers license.
Yeah, rather than the gold. So next year that cost will go down slightly for us, but the cost of the license at the end of this vlog are based on the gold license, which gives you access to more rivers than the standard one does.
And if you're unsure what license you need, if you go on the CRT website, there is a license fee page where you put in the width of your boat, the length of your boat, and what you're doing, i.e. marina, continually cruising, and it gives you this coming year's license fee. So if you're unsure, go and check on their website, and that should tell you the right amount. You do get a small discount for doing it online.
Mm-hmm.
And paying all in at once. I think it's like 5%. It's not enormous, but it is a little bit of a discount. So if you have got the money, it does work out a little bit cheaper like that.
Yeah. So as well as your license, in order to get a license, you have to prove to the CRT that you have insurance for your boat, and that you also have a boat safety certificate. So there's a BSS, a boat safety survey scheme. Basically, it checks to make sure that your boat complies with all the health and safety bits and pieces.
It's like an MOT, but for a boat. Basically, it's probably the easiest. Gas pipes. Make sure it's not going to burst into flames, but it is only done on what they can get to. So if you've got an empty shell of a boat, you'll get issued a boat safety certificate based on that state, I think.
And unlike MOTs, they have to be renewed every 5 years.
5 years.
Every 5 years. So the insurance, we obviously the insurance is annual, and ours went up this time around because our boat has moved into an older age bracket. So our boat has just tipped into the 15 years old boat. It was built in 2008. Our premium went up slightly, so we've kind of done an average cost, haven't we, because that was mid-year. And the boat safety certificate, obviously that's every 5 years. Ours isn't due for a while, but what we do is in our maintenance, which we'll talk about later, we save a bit of money each month that will go towards the costs of that, as well as maintaining the boat.
On Narrowboat Ripple, we have a Beta Marine 43 horsepower engine, and that is fueled by red diesel, opposed to vans and lorries that are white diesel. This is the distance we've travelled so far. We started in North Kilworth Marina, we came down the Oxford Canal, and then we joined the Thames, and then we joined the Kennet and Avon Canal, and then once we'd reached as far as we could go, we turned round, we came back again along the K&A, rejoined the Thames, came off the Thames at Brentford and started to head back up the Grand Union Canal, and that's normally about 3 days cruising a week.
Not only do we run the engine and use the engine for moving and cruising around everywhere, we do use it mainly in the winter months for power. Though that's mainly in the dark months of the winter months.
and so the diesel costs at the end, the total diesel costs, include the times when we're running the engine but we're not actually going anywhere. We're running the engine to charge the batteries.
We have quite a few appliances that draw electricity on Ripple. We have a separate fridge and freezer. They are 12 volt, but they still constantly draw power from our supply. We also have a standard household washing machine. We have an air fryer. I like to do my hair and make myself look nice occasionally. So I have straighteners and quite a powerful hairdryer. They're actually the most power hungry things that we have on the boat. The inverter makes a funny noise when we use those. And obviously Kev works from the boat 2 days a week, so he will run his computer and an additional screen 3 days a week, during work hours. Whilst our engine is running, it also heats up our hot water. So while we're cruising, after a day's worth of cruising, we have a full calorifier full of hot water. On days when we're not cruising, we have a boost button that uses electricity and power to heat our hot water.
So on Ripple we have 370 watt solar panels. They're there and there, and during the summer months that provides us pretty much all the electricity we need and then a little bit more. Winter months are slightly different. You do still have to run your engine in the darkest months, but generally those three provide us all the electricity that we need on Ripple. So because we have the 3 solar panels on the boat, our diesel costs versus not having the solar panels is quite significantly reduced, where we're not running the engine, we're not consuming diesel. So for us, our diesel costs are a lot lower than what they would be should we not have the solar panels.
Our main source of heat is our Mortar Squirrel multi-fuel stove, and that runs on coal and wood, and that also supplies 2 other radiators from via a back boiler to the bedroom and to the bathroom. We can use logs, coal. We do use firelighters and kindling for that, and that keeps us toasty warm all year round, pretty much from October to March. During the summer months and early parts of winter, as you can see here, we will forage wood that the CRT have chopped down, and they know that the boaters have come along and take it, so we do forage as much as we can as well.
We have an LPG gas oven on the boat, which provides us with all of our cooking. Most of the money on gas goes on making cups of tea for Kev. Each month we save a specified amount of money that we put into a little pot for maintenance. This is so that every 6 months Kev can service the engine and make sure that it's running properly. And also we can dip into the pot if we have any unexpected breakdowns or maintenance costs throughout the year. Any money left over in that pot is saved and rolled over the next year towards the BSS, the boat safety scheme, because as we said previously, it will come up for renewal in the near future, and it's always good to save a little bit towards that.
So internet. Obviously Kev works on the boat 3 days a week, so we need to have internet. We also need it for our phones, contacting family and browsing the internet and buying things, ordering shopping. So we had, at the beginning of this period that we've done the cost for, we had an omnidirectional antennae with a router and a pay monthly SIM card in it. And we kept that for probably half the year, and it was fine. It was absolutely fine in most places, but again, if you follow us, you'll see that halfway through the year we decided that there were quite a few spots where we would find a mooring and we'd love to be there, but the signal wasn't strong enough for Kev to be able to work, and because he works, it's really important that we have a good signal. with vlogging, it's really important as well, isn't it? So
loads.
I can't remember when it was, but back earlier in the year, we opted to go down the Starlink route, which is much more expensive. It's
96 quid a month.
£96 a month. But we can go anywhere we like. Kev can work. I can upload videos at the same time as he's working. It's been an absolute game changer. However, we will base the internet costs at the end of this vlog on just using the SIM card, which if you're not working from the boat and you're not reliant on it, was fine, wasn't it?
Yeah, you can get your normal standard stuff from it. But those of you that don't know what a antenna is, that's Em's posh word for an antenna.
I told you should have done that bit.
So,
Dick.
but it was just omnidirectional antenna that we're going to base the costs on, because that's what we have for a massive proportion of the year. And the Starlink's not for everybody.
No,
It is without a doubt bloody expensive, but
it is.
it's
And if
quite
you know,
essential.
if you want to add that into the costs and you want to go down the Starlink route, which for us is you know, like I say, game changer, it's £96 a month for a roaming subscription. So you need to work out
Plus
yeah,
the
90,
kit. Plus the kit.
£96 times 12. And we got a half price kit, which I think was 250 quid.
250 quid or something.
So, you know, if that's something, the direction you'd want to go in, then obviously you can add those costs in yourself.
Internet might be the least of your worries.
Yeah,
It might
you
not
could
be
just take
important
that
to you
out.
at all. So, as well as all of that, we do have extra bits that aren't essential. They're not necessary on a boat. It's just a couple of bits that we have as extra.
Personal choice.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
just to put into our budget. So one of them is the RCR, the River Canal Rescue. For us, it's a bit of peace of mind. If you don't know what the River Canal Rescue is, it's like the Green Flag RAC, but for the canals and rivers. Our first year, we had quite a big bit on the gearbox blow up, didn't it? And to buy it and to fit it for us just doing it ourselves would have been over £1,000. I paid a £50 insurance excess, and it was done right on top of Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we haven't used them this year, or the last 18 months we haven't used them, but it's just a little bit of peace of mind for us. It's a bit more of a comfort blanket. If something call goes wrong, you can phone them up. Normally they come out that day or the next day, depending on the severity and if you're safe. And 9 times out of 10 they fix your boat for you. So it's certainly, if you're new to boating, it's probably a really good idea. A lot of the marinas now give you 3 months free when you buy a boat, just to give you a bit of peace of mind. So RCR is one little extra that we class as an extra, isn't it?
You don't have to have it.
No.
You know, it doesn't stop you from enjoying the canals.
No.
So one of the other extras that we budget for each year is marina stays. We are continual cruisers, so we're not based in a marina, but what we won't do is leave our home on the side of the canal for any length of time, because it's our home. It contains everything that we own in it, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so we want to know and need to know that it's safe while we're away. So if we are going away for a period of time, we will find a marina, we'll book it in. Most marinas take leisure moorings, so you can just go in and visitor moorings.
A nightly fee. Isn't it,
And there's a
normally?
nightly fee, which tends to be, you know, it would be more expensive than if you were staying there all the time. But for us, it's peace of mind. So we budget in 4 weeks. We tend to have, we'll allow for a 2-week holiday if we're going somewhere. I went to Spain this year. A week for Christmas, and then a week of incidentals. You know, whether we're, you know, just in case, basically.
Things like now that when we want to come into a marine and do some work on the boat, we've got it in the bank or in the savings that it's there.
So those are our extras. Obviously, we haven't factored in food, going out, and all that kind of stuff, because that's down to personal choice and depends how much you party, how often you go to the pub, which is quite a lot for us.
Yeah.
So there was no point. What we wanted to do was just to provide you with an overview of probably the basic costs of living on a boat.
No, we don't have a car, so there is no transport
Yes.
included in this at all.
We haven't factored that into our costs at all. I mean, if you've got a car, you'd need to consider, or you wanted to have a car, you'd need to consider those
Which
costs
a lot
yourself.
of boaters do, don't they? And they kind of jump and leapfrog the cars and that. So, but we haven't included them in our numbers
because we haven't got one, basically.
Yep.
So the final figures are...
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please. So there you go. Those are our costs for 1 year. And we hope that you found it really useful. If you're considering making the move to the boat, to buy
a boat and to think about a boat. And those of you that have got boats that are watching, are our costs similar to yours?
Yeah,
are we spending way too much, or are you spending way too much? Are we doing it cheaper than you are? It'd be interesting to know, wouldn't it? Drop something in the comments, let us know, and say you're spending more than us, or we don't spend anywhere near that, or oh my god, how are you doing that? We spend double what you're spending.
Yeah,
you know, let us,
absolutely.
it'd be interesting to know.
And obviously, for those of you that are thinking about buying a boat, that doesn't include the cost of buying the boat itself.
Yes.
And again, you know, think about the context. We've got quite a good setup. The solar setup really reduces our costs.
Yeah.
Our engine is really economical. Kev looks after it really well and keeps it, you know, running well. And we also know, one of the things that we do know is our boat is really well insulated. So there's insulation, which you would normally get behind the panelling here, but there's also insulation in the roof, so and the floor. So we know that actually the heat that we produce and the fuel that we burn in terms of wood, coal and what have you, probably the heat is kept in
we can see
really effectively.
We can see in the marina there's people with their fires on now and the smoke coming out of people's chimneys, quite a few of them.
And it's 19 degrees.
It's 19 degrees in here. We've not got the fire going. It's not been on today. Em's in a t-shirt. One thing we do have behind us, thermal curtains, thermal line curtains.
Yeah, we didn't talk about those. They are a really good investment.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about buying a boat, and most boats come with single pane glass, and it's obviously it's a massive exit for heat. And so the thermal curtains, although they were quite expensive, they were a really good investment.
You can have them cold in like February and it'd be snowed outside and it's been absolutely freezing, hasn't it? And you put your hand behind and it's warm on the front, and in the glass is just freezing cold. So we know they do a really good job.
There's ice on the inside of the glass, but actually there's no cold coming through
the actual curtain.
So yeah. So, and I think that a valid point there is that if you are looking to buy a boat, think carefully about what you want and ask the right questions so that you get the best deal for your money, is what I would say.
Yeah, and if you buy from a marina, if they don't chuck any form of RCR in, get them to chuck 3 months in free for you.
Yeah,
don't cost them much.
Be cheeky.
Yeah, they make enough money.
Okay, well, that's it for us, from us for this week. I think we're going to leave it there, and we will see you next week. It will still be a marina based one. It'll either be an update on the painting if the weather is kind to us, or it might be just a general one about marina life, because actually North Kilworth has been very good to us.
Or we could reveal our big change that we've made to Ripple.
Oh yeah, we have got a big change as well. That'll be part of the painting and the maintenance.
But it's a big change.
Big change.
Big
Big
change.
news. Big news.
Big money, but big change.
Anyway, we're going to leave it there. So, if you have liked our video and you haven't yet subscribed, please do.
That's my bit. I do that.
Go on then, you do it. He does it better than me anyway, to be fair.
Please don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Hit the bell icon to be notified of our next video, which is every Sunday at 6 o'clock and temporarily at the moment on Thursdays at 6 o'clock as well, until we're completely caught up. And give us a thumbs up. That'll help. Send a comment.
Comment. You know, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about the costs.
Yep.
What your costs are like.
I reply
if
to
you're
them all
considering
personally.
voting.
It takes me hours to reply to them, but I do reply to them all personally. Why are you shaking your head?
Oh, shit.
Oh, bullshit. So, but yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys, and
See you next week.
see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.
Recording now.
Huh?
It's recording now.
You just spoke to me like you speak to your mum.
It's recording now.
It's recording now.
It's a bad ear. Hi, welcome to this week's vlog.
Should we do that together?
If you want to. 1, 2, 3.
So, obviously, those that watch us regularly will know that we are in. Okay.
You'll have to excuse the dogs in this vlog.
They're just going to help
Appear.
themselves and appear. So those of you that have watched us, that watch us regularly, will know that we are in. Oh my God! Really? Get off! Get off! Get
They
off!
said they wanted to see, but not that
They
much.
want to see. Yeah, not a close up. Thank you.
So I'll do it.
Whatever. It's because my legs are so short.
What are you using your toes to turn it on and off with?
No, but I can't reach. Like your feet are on the ground.
See what I put up with. So licenses, various different types of licenses. That
I think I might need to start again because I was rolling my eyes. Sorry.
Shocker. And a vast majority of the rivers. We did that purely. Why did we do that, Alfie?
Leave our boat.
Put your bum away.
Yeah, I think we
Sorry.
just might do that again.
We're blur his bottom out.
No, he just needs to sit down. Honestly, he doesn't. It normally just sits.
Does anyone want a dog?
Yeah, free to a good home.
Yeah, or a bad home. We're not worried.
No, I would not send him to a bad home.
He lives with us.
Right, let me start again.
So she thinks it's funny because I can't get it right. There's one.
He just complicates.
There's one for your stupid bloopers.
Did you just? Oh, did you just put your hand up like that?
Yeah.
Dirty.
Dirty.